Hey guys, my name's Justin and welcome to Hellsborough, where we care about the design behind designer luxury. And if you do, make sure to subscribe. So for today's video, I wanted to do a little review of the Balenciaga extra small hourglass in glitter material with aged silver hardware, shoulder slash crossbody strap, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it today. This is actually a really recent purchase, but I thought it would be good to like do a follow-up after my first impression because I ended up using this bag and I still use it a lot as kind of like a daily errands bag, so I thought it would be good to like get my emotions out into the universe. And to you guys. And I think the nice thing now is like, now that I've used the bag, I feel like I can give more of a like fuller understanding, like be better at like with descriptions and just give like a little bit more info, something that I definitely would not have been able to give in the last time I talked about it in my first impression. Also for my reviews, what I like to do is actually just kind of pull out points about what makes this bag work or not work. It's not really meant to say like this is a good bag or a bad bag, but it's more like what works for you, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and what might not work for you. So it's more of just like me trying to describe the bag so that if you're interested in it, maybe this will help you make a decision. If you're not familiar with the way I do reviews, I typically break down whatever I'm reviewing into 5 categories, and that's going to be design, durability, comfort, investment value, and impact, like visual impact. Alright, so let's get started. When we're talking about design, it is an hourglass bag, of course. The extra small is like, I would definitely say it's a mini bag. Just like any of the other hourglasses, it's this pretty structural bag. It gets the name from like the hourglass base, where when you place it on a flat surface, it actually lifts up the bag, which I think is one of the most charming things about this whole family of bags. And then it has this like really stiff top handle. I love like a really like sturdy top handle. It makes me feel like I'm not gonna break the bag. When you open it up, it has this like magnetic, hear it, right? I feel like one of those like clapping monkeys with the cymbals, like. So for me, the shape, it kind of is what it is. Like it's an hourglass bag. Everyone, I'm pretty sure most people know about them. People who have them, I think, generally feel good about it. One of the interesting things for me is I'm not used to having mini bags. So it was definitely a bit of a learning curve of like what fits in a bag. So I'm kind of like, I like to prepare for anything. So I love like stuffing my bags full of like whatever I feel like I might need. And this one, it was definitely an adjustment, but even though it is small, the fact that it is structured, or it feels structured at least, it means that I felt like I could kind of stuff it a little bit more than I maybe would have some of the other bags without it like deforming and looking kind of weird. So that's just talking about like the shape, right? And then if we talk about the material, I think I talked about this in my first impression. I'll like link it up in the corner because there I do like a fun little like section of like what fits in it. Fill her up. But this material, I talked about how it's like a little bit rough. If you were to like actually feel this glitter material, you can feel like the texture. It's not like a leather bag where it feels like super smooth. I think you can even probably hear the texture. And I think that definitely does play into like the way that I like carry this bag and how I interact with this bag when I'm using it. But then that's all about that outside. So let's take a look inside. Oh, there's not much. I think the nice thing here is that it is this really smooth, but it still feels kind of like a durable-ish leather on the inside. So like, even though this outside material it's not leather, it's like a vegan material. I think it's like plastic and glitter or something put together. You still get that like luxury of like, oh, there is still like leather. But unfortunately, that means it's not a vegan bag, but for me personally, that's not super important. But then like, it's just interesting because when you put it all together, it's this like tiny bag that's like super glittery, and for me, using it as like a like quick errands bag is kind of like silly, but I also like that's why I bought it, because it is kind of ridiculous for that. I think I talked about it in my Q2 wish list video, which I guess I'll link up in the corner too. On my wish list, one of the rhinestone bags, like the 4,000 euro one, I guess it's 4,500 now, but that bag was on my wish list, so I was like, oh, it's nice to want things. But then like I saw the glitter in gray in the store, and like that was insane. And then I saw that they had black available online, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not going to be like as crazy, which it is. But then for me, it's kind of like, oh, it's my like little knockoff rhinestone bag, because it's like A, super sparkly, and B, very rough to the touch. Yeah, it's kind of like my little like, oh, I'm too poor to buy a $4,000 mini bag, but then, you know, however much I spent on this, I'm like, ah, that's fine. So taking all of that into account, like the shape, the size, and the material, and like even if you take away the material, but like if you just look at like the actual shape and size of this bag is fantastic. It still gets that little like architectural detail of the lift on the bottom from the curve, and then when you add in the material, it just makes it look super fun. There's a couple of things that I would have liked better, maybe, like if the material wasn't as rough, but when it comes to the design, I think I have to give this a 9. So, onto durability. First off, the external material is vegan. It's like, it's plastic mixed with glitter. So, to me, A, it becomes water resistant, and B, this is a bag that will damage you before you damage it. Like, when I know I just said that it is rough, but it is like, oh, I'm like a DJ. It's rough. And the fact is, like, because it's rough, I feel like, A, you don't see any scratches on it. I mean, I'm just looking at it right now, I'm like, I don't even know, like, if there could be scratches on this kind of material, because it is like a plastic plus glitter material. But then you also like compare it to like the like super fancy version, and I'm like, I would be so afraid of like scratching or pulling off one of those rhinestones, while this, like, since the glitter is like built in, no stress about it, right? So I don't know, for me, like, because the material is what it is, I have to give this a 10. Now we're gonna talk about comfort. So, I know I literally just said that this bag is like super rough and will like hurt you before you hurt it, but also like it's not painful, you know? I think I also said in like my review of the medium Hourglass, which I'll link it up again. The fact that it has this top handle, which sure, this top handle's small, so you can't really fit it on like the crook of your elbow. But it has a top handle, and it has an adjustable strap that you can make either a crossbody or a shoulder bag. I mean, if you know me at all, you know I love having a bag that's like kind of convertible, in that you can like wear it crossbody, wear it shoulder, wear it top handle, whatever, do whatever you want. Like, you could even hold it like this if you felt like it for some reason. And I know like there's so many bags that do that, but at the same time there's so many bags that don't. And there's so many bags that do that, but they don't do it well. So I think that still is something to appreciate about it, right? Also the fact that this bag is small, so you can't like stuff it like super full. I think I mentioned it in the first impressions bag, which I already linked, so it's still up there. But because like you can't really fit too much, it doesn't ever get too heavy. So even if you carry it by your hand or by your strap or whatever, it's not gonna ever really cause you too much pain. I think this is one of those bags that I actually can just wear crossbody, and I wear it crossbody the whole time. But still, like, the versatility is great. But again, like I said, like the material isn't the most comfortable, so it's not the most pleasant to hold, even though like it looks super fun. I don't know, I think I'm still gonna give it an 8. But then, let's talk about investment value. I don't know. You guys know this is like not the most important factor for me, but I still want to bring it because I know it's important for some people. This bag is super cute, super fun, and had a little bit of a moment, but I will say like it didn't, of course, have the icon status that like the actual rhinestone bags had. And honestly, even the rhinestone bags, like I have seen one or two of them pop up on like Vestiaire or something, and they did like bump up the price just a bit. But I know for a fact like this bag is not going to give me, if I were to ever sell it for some reason, this bag would not get me the money that I put into it. And that's okay, because this bag is amazing and I love it and I would never sell it. I mean, if you look on Vestiaire right now, like even the basic Hourglass bags, like sure, some people try to like sell it for like MSRP, but like for the most part, I do not see any that have like that cult status that would warrant that kind of like a price bump or even like a steady price like that. Like, I love it. I love you. But the score I have to give for investment value, it's 6. And then we are on to the last category, impact. One of my favorite to talk about because it means we're talking about getting attention. So if we're talking about visual impact, of course, yes, this is just another Hourglass bag. It's a bag that has been around, it has existed for, what, 3 years or whatever. It became an it bag and it's kind of been waning a bit, while still, like, you know, people still like it, but it's not as iconic as it was before. But I have to say, this material, and I'll try to put, like, some visuals so you can see, like, how insane it looks. But this material, because it is so eye-catching, oh my god. For me, it's not one of those like collaboration bags or anything. It's not something that went like viral, but the fact that like people have just come up to me and been like, oh, I like how sparkly your bag is. I feel like it's always like younger girls, which is like, of course, like I'm basically like the music I listen to and the way I dress, I'm basically a teenage girl anyways, but like the girls who get it, and the girls who don't. And the girls who get this bag, and they love this bag, and they see the sparkle, and they understand, because it is phenomenal. Even, like, I have friends who, like, are really not into luxury at all, but, like, I've worn this around them, and they're like, oh my god, that's insane. Yes, all of my friends do that. But to have someone who, like, doesn't care for luxury still be like, your bag's fun, I like it. To me, that's also like a huge win, you know? It's not that I'm like, oh, everyone should buy luxury, everyone should be into luxury. No, but like, when like, even like design snobs can be like, oh, I like it. I don't know, this is pretty cool to me. It's definitely not one of those like subtle bags, and I think for that reason, I have to give it a 10. Alright, so adding it all up together using our super fun magic calculator, also known as our brains. 43. So that sets it at around like a middle B, like normal B. What are those called? An average B? A B.
There's a B?
This isn't like a super like iconic bag, it's not like super utilitarian even, it's just kind of like a fun bag to have. And I think a B is the a B is the perfect score. Wow. Oh my god. I love this bag. But yeah, let me know. Do you have this bag? Are we twins? Do you like this bag or do you think it's very stupid? Let me know. I love hearing from you guys. But that's all I have for you today. So if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know that you like this kind of content and that you too care about the design behind designer luxury. Until next time, be loud, be proud, and be Balenciaga.
There's a B?